The film Period, End of Sentence won an Academy Award last month. The movie's bringing the topic of menstrual equality to women across the globe.
Yeah, very powerful to watch that whole speech and how it played out, and also a very incredible film. So this morning we want to introduce you to a Chicagoan who's making a difference in the life of women all across the Chicagoland. And we've got Ashley Novoa here from Chicago Period Project. Ashley, it's so good to have you here this morning.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So menstruation, it's not always an easy topic to talk about. From a guy's perspective, I can reinforce that to be true. So can you tell us how you started this organization and what exactly it's about?
Yeah, well, it was November of 2016, and there was sort of a moment where all of the defunding for Planned Parenthood was going on, and I just happened to get lost in like the black hole of Facebook and the internet. I came across a video as they followed a person throughout New York as they had their period, and just seeing that struggle that they went through. Being homeless, not being able to, have enough money for food, and being somebody that menstruates myself, I was just embarrassed that it was an issue that I never thought about. So I wanted to start off with a little project, and it just snowballed and turned into something big. We received so much support, so I just decided that I had to make this a nonprofit, and then here we are 2.5 years later.
Great. So you have all these donations, and they go to homeless and low-income people?
Yes, so we mostly focus on shelters throughout the entire Chicagoland area. We also donate to Chicago public schools throughout the city that are in underserved communities. And basically any kind of organization that services people that are in need at the moment. So they don't necessarily have to be street-based, but if they are just down on their luck, then we're here to provide those supplies for them.
Yeah, because, when you think homeless and donations, people are probably giving stuff, they're giving soap, they're giving toothbrushes, they're giving food. It would never cross my mind, unfortunately, and that's where the need comes from for products such as these. And that's a necessity, clearly.
Yeah. It all goes back to the huge stigma and taboo that surrounds menstruation. It's just something that, unfortunately, even though it's the most normal thing that our bodies go through, it's not a topic that people are comfortable talking about. So we're not talking about it, we're not thinking about it, and when it comes to a time that we want to give back, it's not something that easily comes to your mind. So they right away go to the products that they're comfortable with or that they're used to donating, or like the safe products. So it just creates this really huge need throughout the city.
So tell us about what comes in a package for a month of supplies.
Yeah, these are our packages right here. We call them our period kits. They will get enough supplies for a month's cycle. So whether they prefer tampons or pads, they'll get about 20 to 25 of those in here. We put a
So they tell you what they want?
Yes.
Okay.
We put a brand new pair of underwear because those can get very expensive when you're dealing with your period also. A hand sanitizer, gel, antibacterial wipes, or whatever we have donated at the moment. So they'll get that all in this little kit. It's just one little bag to help them get by to the next month in their next cycle.
Ashley, it was really interesting and what resonated with me a lot, obviously, but when you say stigma of discussing periods, that really hit me because as a father to a young boy who's 11 and is old enough to probably be aware of what's going on.
And that's the age too when it starts.
Yeah, I think I've done a poor job of this, and I think a lot of fathers out there maybe listening, or parents in general. I don't think this just falls on fathers, but I think we think, well, I don't have a girl, so she's not going to have a period. Menstruation's not going to be something I need to worry about with my 11-year-old boy. I don't think I need to cover that. I did the birds and the bees. I mentioned that women get this thing called a period, and there's a menstruation cycle, but I didn't get into it. I'm doing a disservice there, right?
Yeah, I think so. My son is 4 years old right now, and he has known all about periods and what we do with the organization.
At 4 years old?
At 4 years old, yes. He knows
so I'm
all
definitely missing the boat here on that.
He knows all of the technical terms, and I would have done that whether I started Chicago Period Project or not.
What's the reasoning behind that, Ashley?
I just feel like any other issue that we experience in life, whether you are personally dealing with that issue or not, it's great to be an ally. So he can be somebody that talks about it. He can be somebody that makes the change to break down those stigmas and break down those taboos and be there for his fellow menstruating peers. And if he has a partner in the future that menstruates, then he will have no problem going to the store and buying them a box of tampons.
Making a really good husband.
Do you have any pointers for what to kind of tell your kids?
I just always stick to the very basics, stick to the technical terms, and keep it as simple as possible.
I like that.
So CPS students also benefit from this, correct?
Correct. We've donated to about 10 Chicago public schools so far, focusing on those in the underserved communities. But when you hear about this issue, you think about that it's something that happens in third world countries, but it's actually happening here where our students are having their education interrupted because they don't have the supplies that they need. So they're missing 2 or 3 days out of every month when they get their period because they don't have the supplies, because they're embarrassed, because the schools don't have it within their budget to provide these supplies for their students. So we are happy to provide that for them, just so nobody's education is interrupted.
Yeah, very important. And also, really quickly before we wrap, what are your hopes for the organization as it grows?
So we're 2.5 years in. It's been going amazing so far. For 2019, we're hoping to get an office space. We're hoping to get a truck to drive around the city and hand out supplies. And then we're also hoping to set up period pantries and hygiene pantries in general throughout the city, partnering with food pantries and things like that, but also having like a little space within there for ourselves to hand these supplies out.
It's such an important organization. Thank you so much for coming in and chatting with us, Ashley.
Yeah, and if you're wondering why she's glowing, it's because she's got a new addition
Yes.
on the
Yes.
way coming here. So exciting time for you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, if you're looking to donate or if you are in need of some feminine products, just check out ChicagoPeriodProject.org.